Praise the Lord. Thank you for this. Please, you can have your seat. Please, if I'm not loud enough, let me know. Uh, Thank you for to the earlier speaker because some of the things he said lays the background for what I want to share also. Um, I can be a bit academic, but I will try to put life into what I'm going to be discussing with you guys. So there are some slides that were prepared, but it's not so much about the slides. Let's make it interactive. So I always say to people that the cost of poverty is too high. So I will give a story. It's don't feel sorry for me, but it's a real thing. So when my father passed on 18 years ago thereabout, I was quite young, but I was already working. But I was the only one that knew my father was going to die because what the doctor had spoken to me, and I realized that he had cancer. Was a serious situation, so his time to live was not a lot. So I told myself I was going to give him the best possible care he could at that time. And he was in a very popular, very good, he got very good care. I know we're in a church, so I'll say something that is a bit controversial, and I'm sorry. If I didn't have the money, I probably would have taken him home and then they would have been praying for him and all sorts of things. And he would have suffered till he died because he would have died anyway. But having the finances to take care of the situation and give him the dignity to the end of his life. Honestly, when he died, I had a sense of loss, but I was also thankful. And guess what? In between his illness, he woke up, he was okay, and he asked questions like, how are you sustaining this? I said, don't worry, just get well. He prayed for me. He was so grateful. He prayed for me. We had time to get people to talk to him if he had anything to make up with his God, this kind of situation. So imagine if he did not have, he would have been subconscious, passed out, everybody's troubled, his dignity is lost as a human being, the family is troubled. And it's not like having the finances was, yes, there's a role for prayer. Prayer is important in everything. God is important in everything. It's God that also gives wealth. So, what I learned, I had been taking some steps before then, not knowing that there was going to be a need. I had learned it very early. Don't eat your seed. Don't eat your seed. Your seed, I heard Pastor say 8 to 5. I had a question about people that do 8 to 5, 9 to 5. The salary cannot take you on. Guess what? My father used to tell us, where Yorubas, they say, I hope my Yoruba is good enough. Toba shobesino epoepa. Anima you are you. If you don't, please interpret. Never ever eat your seed. Don't say because you earn 500,000 today, you need 500,000 naira life. Or you earning 100,000, it's not enough. But guess what? There's still a way. And the good thing is that the world of finance has been democratized now, that so many things you can do with that little that will become mighty. It's very, very possible. So that's my intro. I would say, as I talk, it's if you want to ask a question, just put your hands up. We can pause. I think it's better that way, so we can move on. So I'll be speaking about managing personal finance. Yes, investing and giving. That's what I'll be speaking about. It's not up now. So I believe that this is a matured audience, or even for young ones not working, there's a lot you can gain from this. There's a premise on this conversation. It's about this. We're in the church, and I thought it was important to have a biblical background to what we want to discuss. Yes. So I don't know if anyone can read probably the first one, Proverbs 21:20 for us. It's talking about the importance of being intentional with your resources. It's exactly what I said at the beginning when I said that we should not eat our seed. I will look for it. Yeah. Um, Proverbs. Yep.
And oil of the toilet of the wife, but a foolish man spends it all.
A foolish man spends it all. I believe there's no foolish person amongst us. So the act of having any amount of money and spending everything is an act of foolishness. Never ever fall into the trap people say today in the world, what you do is never enough. It's never ever enough. Even Dangote that is so rich is still looking for more money. He will have needs. So it will never be enough. It's always important, always very important to understand that you must be intentional with your resources. There are many reasons, and I've just cited a few scriptures there, because the Bible says, above all, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. So, we are Christians. The people in the world, they throw a lot of money around and all. And they will say, and people these days tend to say, what's the evidence of this guy being a Christian when he's so hungry and poor? Don't let, don't be the source of negativity on the body of Christ. Taking that resource, and in the conversation we're going to have today, I'm going to show you some very practical steps. Do you know that you can actually start a business online with 50,000 naira today? You don't even need to sell anything specifically. And you can be shocked how that money will grow. And I will show you today. This is not Ponzi scheme. This is not the MMM. These are things that are on your fingertips. We spend a lot of time on our phone. The last speaker talked about the business place being a virtual space. It's very right. It's a virtual space today. You can use your phone to do a lot of things. And it's not in every instance that you have to sell or buy or offer a service. Just keeping your money in the right thing, in the right place, can fetch you some wealth. So if ultimately, what I want to get out of this slide is to say to us, to all that we agree, that it's important to be intentional with our resources. It's intentional, also important to build wealth gradually. We must budget and forecast. You don't go to the store and you don't have a shopping list. You must be guided, or your child is crying for every little thing you want to buy on the road. No. You are not teaching discipline in every area of life. And it's overall, we must understand that it is the intent of God that we prosper as Christians. It is not, poverty is not for a Christian. Yes, your wealth or wealth that we have is a relative thing. What I have might just be okay for me. What you have might be okay for you. It doesn't mean some people are billionaires and they are still not satisfied. So it doesn't mean that we will all have billions. It just means that that need, if God has fed it for the birds of the air, how much more you? He said so. So, but it comes to physical actions that we take in our own lives, and we take control of our finances. You don't wish, if I could just get, or you are planning with something that has not come into your pocket. Someone promised you something. So it's intentionality. I want to take it out of the slide, and also the fact that God's desire and God's plan for us is for us to prosper. That is non-contestable. Yeah. Yeah, identifying and strengthening income streams. We have different income streams. We have income from business. For example, there are business entrepreneurs here. So the money you earn, and the money you earn as a business owner, is not the sales of your business, is the profit that is allocated or attributable to you. We can talk about that in question and answer time. Your revenue of your business is not your income, it's the income of your business. Your salary is your income. But guess what? Your salary is your income, but you should also pay yourself from your salary. We can talk about that in later time. You dissect your salary, the part to take care of your family and your responsibilities, reasonable responsibilities. When I started working, there's always one demand, family. I was not married. So many things, uncle, this. I spoke to someone that was a billionaire and is still a billionaire to today. He has houses in Banana Island. He told me, he said, Michael, Shumoke problem here, Balaye Nisha, that this problem has always been in this world. And you're still going to live these problems. Just do your part. Don't feel bad. Focus on what is most important to you. So it doesn't mean that you will not give, but not every giving is rewarding. It doesn't mean that you will not strain yourself at times, but you must train yourself within a plan, within a structure. So, importantly, many incomes, you also have investment income, which I would be stressing a lot on this today because this is how a lot of people are making money today from stocks, from bonds, from real estate. In today's world, you don't even need to have 100 million to go and buy a piece of land anymore. There's fractional ownership through structured and secure sources that you can actually get into. Maybe because of my own background in finance, I got to know all of these things and all. And I'm telling you from personal experience, it's not someone said something. Uh, you can also have passive incomes. For example, there are moments I get dividends that I didn't forget I had shares in the place and they pay the dividend. It just helps you for something. Musicians earn money from royalties or rentals of things that they own. So these are a few sources of income. It's important that every adult is busy. You must be doing something that yields you something. There's no room for idleness in God's plan. If you look at the creation story in Genesis, do you think God was idle at any point in time? Or you come further down to the life of Jesus, 33 years of impact. He was busy all through. And if you look at the people he associated with, they were also busy and diligent in their ways. So I'm believing that anyone that is not doing something should at least find something. The last speaker talked about looking for a need and meeting a need in your locality. Maybe after church, it's something small, but guess what? It can become something big. It's applying, if you apply the principles that we'll be talking about or we'll be talking about very soon, which we have already started actually. Discipline, being intentional, not eating your seat, very critical. I can give a story also. When I started working, my father had the second part of our house not yet completed. And he said, bring money, let's me do this. I said, no, 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 no. Because if I put the money in this thing, it's not going to yield me anything. And that was a way of eating my seed. It felt cold for me not to give my father the money. But you know what? I was able to put that money and throw that money. Unfortunately, when he fell sick, that money saved his dignity. But if I had put it in just that thing that would not have yielded as much, that was an emotional response to a need, but that was not the bigger picture that was good for us. And that laid the background for so many things I have had to do. So being intentional, doing the right thing is critical with your funds. I recall early in my career, still after my dad died, I decided I was going to build a house. I didn't have the money to build the house, but I was able to buy the land. But I started saving and investing. So I had friends that were traveling around the world. They will tell you what the street on London and New York and everywhere. But they were living in rented apartments and they didn't have a piece of land. So when they were flying to London, I was building house in Okuta. And one day they heard my conversation and they were like, "What are you doing? How?" I said, "How do you get the money?" I said, "It's from the same business, this same job we're doing and investing and all." So you can see two different approaches. They could show you all the pictures, tell you all the drama, all the fancy things that happen in London, but they had nothing to show that was of substance. Thank God many of them found their true life eventually. But that story I'm telling you helped many of them to also change their approach to how they spend money. Why do you need the latest iPhone? Indeed, I have the latest iPhone. Guess what? I didn't buy it. So that's a different story. I don't. Why do you need the latest clothes or the latest shoes or the latest? There's a time for everything. There's nothing as good as having financial security. And we will never have enough. That's the truth of the matter. Because our needs will always keep growing. But how do we manage our needs? How do we discipline ourselves in terms of spend and investment? You must be in a position where you are liquid and positive. Positive meaning that you are not in a deficit financially. Deficit is when your expenditure is much more than your income. At times, there are moments of life that happens, but that should not be the defining picture of life. And one would say, where will that money come from? I tell you, it's from these little monies. I saw someone's WhatsApp yesterday. The person wrote 2 5 years, 7 5 years, 3,000 here, 30,000 here. End of the week, 1 million has gone. And it's true. That's how we all spend money today. And guess what happens? Let's go back and review that chart of spend. How much of that was really important? Sometimes we are being frivolous, especially in today's world. Some people want to have data on their phone every moment. It comes at a cost. Have you seen the revenue of MTN? It's 1 trillion in 6 months. So we need to look at the cost to us. It's not always about the convenience. There's what is called delayed gratification, which is what I was saying about don't eat your seed. You must understand delayed gratification at every time. Let's go back to the slide. What multiplication? So it's not enough to earn an income. For me, this is a critical part of this conversation. How do you grow your income? You are in a 9 to 5 job. You are in a business that seems is limited, or your career you are not growing. You are earning this salary increase every year doesn't come, and it seems like it has peaked. How do you grow your income? Now, first of all, talked about budgeting and planning, and there are some principles we have to understand. Consistency. Consistency. I'll just take that one. If you are consistent in saving every month, even if it's 10 15% of your income, although financial experts say you should save 30% of your monthly income, but I know it could be tough in Nigeria. Even if it's 10%, 15% of your income, and you invest it in interest yielding opportunities or platforms, and you are consistent with it, honestly, you'll be surprised at what happens at the end of the year. I don't believe in a job. A job is a different because a job is your money. Nothing has grown on a job. It's the one that you contributed that is growing every month that is the one that makes sense. A job is delayed collection. So you are still going to pay back in that one. That one is not what I'm talking about. So financial literacy. Financial literacy comes in many forms for us. For example, some people want to shop in the most shiny place. What happened to going to, I don't know, the closest market here? They want to buy tomato, they go to ShopRite. Are you okay? I see it. I tell young adults these days, they don't want, they want to be fine. I don't know how to explain it. Uh, it's baffling. What happened to going to the markets to mile 12 to buy in bulk or buy? It's a momentary inconvenience because when you go to that AC room, you are going to pay. You want to wear all the labels all the time, the best labels, but guess what? There are so many people that will give you the same quality for less value. And when you get to the point of wearing label all the time, it's your level. That's what you'll be doing. But when you are not there, you are not there. Some people want to live in a duplex. When what do you need 4 rooms, 5 rooms for? When you don't have 10 people in your house. So it's about being disciplined, financial literacy. I'm not talking about P&L, all the various business terms or financial terms of financial. I'm just trying to make it relatable to us. Understand that every month you must take decisions that improve your financial outcome. A business seeks to grow every time financially. Why will an individual not plan to grow financially at every time? And it's very possible. At times, we know in our society, we tend to think every rich man is a thief or he must have stolen someone. It's not true. I've met very rich people that, by God's grace and by their diligence and by discipline, they became rich. And it's very possible. There's no science other than some of the things I'm saying here. Yes, the role of God is there. Don't count that out. The favor of God is there. Always important. But there are also steps that we must take. So if I were to take anything out of this, consistency. I will just point out something, diversification. If you remember in primary school, they say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So if you are doing a job, be careful. Babalajo can go tomorrow. So and you won't see him again. Uh, if you put all your money in in one business, something could just happen, and then you lose everything. So it's important that we know how to spread our wealth in secure investment, secure, always important, in a way that would be risk protected. Don't, because the stock exchange is growing at 40, 50%, think, oh wow, every 100 naira I put, I get 145 naira. It's not going to go like that all the time. Learn to put some money into low risk investments, in mutual funds, into real estate, into so many other things that can yield you protection for the future. Because financial security is like an umbrella protection against the rains of life. And it's very important. So as I said at the top here, I said it's not just enough to earn an income. We should remember the parable of the talents. Who remembers the parable of talents here? Do you want to help us?
Praise the Lord. The story of the talents, like the one God give one, I think he hide his talent, hid it, buried it, and the one God give five, multiply it, like get more to it.
Yeah, that's the idea. All of them had an income. They all had incomes. But what they do with it, what they did with it was what made a difference. And the question I'm putting to all of us today is, what are we doing with our income to multiply that income? We all read that story, it sounds amazing, wonderful, but we should ask ourselves, where am I in this story? What do I look like in this story? And that's why these principles of wealth multiplication are important. And these are all coming from the Bible, because the audience is from the church. So I said, let's talk from the Bible actually. So we can relate with what we're talking about here. So investment opportunities are wealth building platforms. By the way, I will say to you, I'm not selling any investment to anybody. I am only telling you things that have worked. So I want us to focus on this side. This is something I do myself. I tell you, I started this thing with 2.5 million naira. I'm not motivational speaker that say I brought one Gary, and then I was consistent to put money. It grew within 1 year. And I showed two pictures there. Unfortunately, when I cut it out, the dates are not showing, but this was within 1 month. An earlier month, this was like 2 months later. And the difference is about 8 million naira. Yeah. This is money that grows because I was able to invest in stocks. And this is not the only one I did, but I just said, let me just show this one, because I'm talking from personal experience. You don't need to have 2.5 million. If I was watching TV when I saw bamboo, I'm like, what's this one? I downloaded it on my phone. I went through it. Oh, so I can invest with any amount. I had free funds to put it. 2.5 became 4 million. Ah, okay. And I started studying it because I have background in finances, so I understand. And that's how discipline. Every month, I'm taking a part of my income, I'm putting it there. I'm seeing it grow, I'm diversifying, I'm moving things around. And at the point, I stop putting money again, because I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. And then it started growing. Because the rule of wealth is consistency. That's the first rule. Once you are consistent in that good thing, not in the bad thing, once you are consistent in that good thing, saving and investing, you see the compounding, it will multiplying like that. And at some point, I've taken money out of it, I've not so many things, I've come back to it and all. So I'm saying to you, you don't even need 2.5 million. This platform, if you have Google Play Store, you have what's that one? Apple Store, download it. Any of them, Trove, Bamboo, they're all the same thing. Bamboo is a Nigerian platform, so I like it very much. And with 50,000, 20,000, my son, I've introduced him to it. He's doing it now. He's starting to make money on his own. You are not lifting load for anybody. The money is there, and you are seeing it grow. And now, when I even started doing this, you are the one that will pick the investments that you want to be monitoring. It can be quite stressful. Now they have the one that on the platform, you just put your money, they manage it for you to take a fee. You don't even need to care about anything. And I'm telling you, people are making serious money from this thing. Last year, I took my family on vacation. Was millions of naira was from this thing. So, and it's open to anybody, even a student, as long as you have a phone. The time we spend, and there's so many things that you can do with your phone today that I'm not even delving into, but I'm just looking at it that People here will be traditional business owners or income earners from paid employment. There could be young adults here, like I can see a lot here. Those monies that you're using for data. As if I tell people that post on Instagram and Snapchat and like, are you being paid for this thing? Why are you dedicating so much of your time, which is a finite resource, to this thing? Why are you promoting some people's lives? They want to know the latest story. Did you get anything from it? So, discipline again, consistency in good deeds, good action, saving, investing is not enough to save money. So let me tell you, if you put your money in your bank account, in your savings account, the maximum you get here is 7%. That's the max you will get in Nigeria today. If it's abroad, you get 1%. If you put your money in mutual funds, your returns here can be from 23% to 35%. If you put it in fixed deposit, depending on the value, let's say from 100 million, you get like 18%. So why? So that's why I said it's not enough to save money. So you save. When I was trying to say save money, now I'm saying to you, you save and you invest. That's the next thing. You save and you invest in secure investments. So bamboo and trove are very similar. Investment clubs, for example, I'm hoping that that's something that can gain ground in Nigeria, like in a community like this, like in church. Why can the church not have a business arm that members subscribe to? And then people from there, they can get capital for their business. They can invest in all sorts of things, and it's yielding. It's like cooperative society, basically. Why three friends or four friends from church? Why can they not? One has an idea that the business is going to be 20 million to start, but he doesn't have it. Why can't he not partner with two or three other people in the church and they come up with a business plan and incorporate a company and set it up? And that's how wealth increases. At times, we should not go alone. At times, we need people to join up with us, to go with us. And I'm telling you, these are things I have done on my own. Fixed deposits, like I said, there are things that are very available today. It will get you much more interest that you can get from just keeping money in your account. And guess what? Maybe today the fixed deposit today maybe starts from 500,000 or a million. I'm not very sure. But even if you don't have fixed deposit money, you can also put money in those treasury bills. You can put money in treasury bill starts from 50,000 naira actually, and it gives you minimum of 14% per annum. And you don't have to wait for 1 year. There's 90 days, 180 days, 1 year treasury bills, 5 year treasury bills. So, and you don't need any big knowledge of finance. All these platforms, they have them there. So we must understand that our financial health is in our hands. You know, by God's grace, I travel a lot. I go abroad. And I just came back this week for work and all of that. Nigeria is, people tell me, why do you, because most of my family are not here. I said, Nigeria is beautiful. Because this is somewhere you can wake up with 1 million today. Just be sure that something can happen by the end of the month. And it's happening. And it will even be better for it to happen in the house of God. It's happening a lot on the street. It will be better to happen. And this is the knowledge that they have. I heard a part of the last speaker. Everything he said was correct. This is the knowledge they have that we are not exactly propounding on. We must be very, very disciplined with our resources. Next, please. Still on those platforms, I try to give examples. So, fintech options, that's where the bamboo stays in. Real estate. Have you traveled between Lagos and Ibadan lately? Can you see what's happening on the side of the road? 5 years ago, many of those buildings were not there. Oh. People bought those lands and they are. My cousin was telling me, or father, they are selling house for 40 million. I'm like, how? I'm like, they're selling land for 30 million. I'm like, that's the push. He said, no, it's not push anymore. People that paid 100,000, and those things are still available today. Your village will become a city very soon. With the population of Nigeria and how things are going. So you don't have to, we don't have to do everything in Lagos. At times we have to look back in our hometown. Even me, I want to do something in my hometown now, waiting for the future. Huh? So, and because if real estate is too expensive in Lagos, it could be much more affordable elsewhere that you can afford. But don't ever put yourself in a position to say you will not be a partaker of this. When I built my very first house, I said I didn't have the full money. I trusted God, but I was also saving. But guess what? The moment you start, there's the power of starting. Something just happens. You don't have to steal anybody's money. You don't have to compromise yourself. Just applying some of these principles we have talked about. And when God sees that this my child has a need, something, the miracles that we pray for every time, it just definitely does happen. Like when I was building a house, one of my properties there, I didn't have money to finish. But someone that I had sacked at work, I met her and I was praying to God for the money for to finish this thing. And she reconciled with me because I did it on the fairground that I fired her. And I told her, is there no business in your office that I can be supplying you something? She said, are you serious? I said, yes. "Ah, but you are very busy." I said, don't worry. I have time. I tell you, this business ran into hundreds of millions. I never believed it. So if I believe that because I got busy with something, because I had things I was doing, God created that moment, created that opportunity. So that's why I always encourage people to get busy. I said earlier on here, if you are not busy with anything, please get busy. Please get busy. If you are not doing anything gainfully employed, please do. Like I said here, in 2025, Nigeria Stock Exchange gained 45%. So it means that if you put 100 million, you got 145 million. What will give you 45 million naira profit? If you put 100 naira, you got 145 naira. If you put, so you can do the multiplier yourself. And the people that benefiting from this, they're in this same Lagos. Oh. They're in this same Lagos. So don't join them and say, ah, Nigeria tough, Nigeria na lie. It's tough. I agree. I feel it because I have extended family and all. I understand. I see the roads. But your story can be different. And the way I said at the beginning that finance has been democratized in Nigeria with fintech. You don't need to go into Ikoyi. Your phone is enough. And the level of education. That time you spend reading Facebook, put it on Google and say, what does this mean? It will explain to you. You understand it. And when it's getting too complicated, you know what? When I started investing seriously on bamboo, and my money was growing, it was more than this at the time. Bamboo themselves called me. They said, we want to see you. And can we do this? Can we do that? That is the power of financial multiplication. So I was doing it on my own. They didn't know me. When you become somebody of repute, they will know you. So it's very, very possible. And there are many stories There are very, very many stories. I think they shared one the other day. What is it now? Okay, although you cannot see, they themselves on their platform, they said, meet Genevieve Okere. She took her first step towards her dream of traveling the world by starting her investments, by using her part of her investment profits to fund her first trip to Rwanda. I don't know this person. So there are testimonies, people are making money. So that's your salary that is not enough. Indeed, it's not enough. I agree. There's a need. But please don't eat your seed. Even if it's 10%, that's your salary you are paying yourself. You now invest that money and you monitor that investment. If you don't have time to follow stock, put it in a mutual fund. Do we know what the mutual fund is here? Do you know that almost every bank in Nigeria has an asset management part of the business? When you go to them, the same bank that will give you 7% in one table, when you go to the next table, they will give you 25% with the same money that is your own in the same bank, in the same building. So we need that level of, you always ask yourself, you can ask your account officer, what can I do to get more than this 7% or this 5% they want to give me? Always ask yourself, you can even use your phone. What are the investment opportunities in Nigeria that can give you that? I do it a lot. I do financial planning on the system, using ChatGPT and all of those kind of things, and so many things. So you don't need to be the financial guru. The church needs money. We also need money, and we are the church. So God help us. Let's go forward, please. Yeah. So, what is the purpose of wealth without impact? I said just now that the church needs money. We also need money. I was surprised when I got outside. I was looking for where the church was. I didn't know that such a structure was in here. This is not cheap, and it's people like you that funded this place. You are a custodian of what you have, but there's also a long list of people that you can also touch their lives. But importantly, know where you are sowing to. You must sow on the fruitful ground. Retirement planning. You know, one day my daughter was playing my hair. Daddy, you have gray hair here. Oh, my daddy is going to die now. It's also, but the truth thing, at times I'm like, how did I come to that gray hair? With stress, life, we all grow up. So the message is that we'll all grow. One day we will not have the energy, the strength that we have today. But guess what will keep you? The grace of God indeed, and this financial health. Be in good health physically, be in good financial health also. So even if you're a business owner, you are a trader, do you know you can open a pension scheme for yourself? For yourself. You don't have to be someone's staff. Because one day you will not be able to go to that shop. You will not be interested again. Or you're not able to do and do a delivery. You must understand the role of planning for your finances for the future when you are. By the way, your children, this is controversial. Your child is not your financial plan. If because the child is also dealing with their own challenges today, I believe that we have more challenges than our parents had. So if God does it that the child is now able to, that's now extra. But please, let's not strain our children, because at times this is what causes friction between parent and the child when they grow up and all of that. But by God's grace, our children will become successful in Jesus' name. And they would be kind children to us, but in the first instance, plan for your life as if the child was not there. Because that's life for whatever it's worth. And it's for the children here, don't be selfish to your parents. So as I was saying, we must learn, the slides will be given to you, so I will not talk about everything on here. We must learn to plan for the future. See, only 12% of Nigeria's labor force is currently engaged in any form of pension saving. Your pension saving might be those investments I talked about earlier on. But it could also be that you deliberately go to a pension fund office. And the pension fund office is everywhere. And who will tell me the way? Carry your phone and press. You find it there. They will give you the one closest to you. You go to their office, they give you all sorts of schemes. And you can pay into it and consistently pay into it, and then you make money for your future and you secure your future. You know, you can even do things like saving for the future of your children when they go to university. All sorts of things are possible. And it's very important, especially when we get older. Our children are not our financial security plan. Let's move forward. This is more a bit of repetition, but I said it's important. I will just read the last slide there, right? I said, just as businesses set goals, every year businesses are planning. Governments budget every time. Your life is a project worth planning for intentionally. Intentionality is the rule of the game. And it is important to have family or personal financial goals. A family should have a plan. All things being equal, the husband and wife, you should know how much you both earn, what you want to spend your money for, what to go to feeding, what we go for the future, what we go for saving, what we go to helping. It's important. What you want to achieve at the end of the year. I think my own financial plan, my own annual financial year is my birthday. So every birthday, I set my goals. And I'm assessing before that birthday, how am I meeting my goals? But I have a personal financial statement because chartered accountant, so I do these things. I know how much my income is reasonably. I know what my expenses will be. I know what I plan for possible shocks. At times it doesn't work out, at times, or most times it works out. So you must have a plan. Don't live your life to chance. You're saying you are faith in it. God will do it. Yes, God will do it. God will do it, but you say heaven helps those who help themselves. So you must take charge. Especially in the, I work with white people, and you know in their society, maybe you've heard in your family abroad, they say, government will give you money at the end of the month to take care of yourself. That money is just to eat. You can't do anything. You give up to this life to eat. Is that the only thing you want to do? So, but I also tell this white people, I say, you know, where I come from, we don't have social security. I am my social security. So I will plan my life. So please plan your life. We plan many things. We must plan our lives in the way that can give us financial freedom and empowerment for the future. So importantly, discipline, patience, very important. Don't do MMM. One product told you that you put 1 naira, you take, I don't know those things, I don't even know how to say it. And you get something next day. Every month, you put 100 naira, you pack 5,000. How is it possible? Patience. True wealth is gradual. Since I was a child, I've been hearing that good day, growing. It never, not suddenly. Sudden wealth is dangerous. It is through a process. Consistency. We talked about saving consistently. Cultivating good habits. We talked about knowledge. Your phone is a source of knowledge today. It's not only for social media. I met someone that has smartphone and did not know that the phone can send email. All they can do is to browse. And they're always browsing fashion. That's not what we should be doing. We should also learn financial literacy from this. Then accountability. We lack this a lot. If your finances are not working, own up that you are not managing something. It's not always time that it's devil. It's not devil all the time. The one you are doing is also part of it. You want to buy out their Shelby. You want to do the latest makeup or the latest place. I hear some week is 5 million. What's the million now? So it's investment. Wow. Okay. You say, oh wow, okay. If it's an investment, maybe I don't do it. Okay. I would say invest in enduring things. You know, there was a time in this Lagos when you drive Benz 200, everybody is clearing road for you. If you drive that car today, they say it's mad. They say this guy. So accountability, we must be responsible. If you have failed yourself, don't give it to the devil. Take responsibility yourself, and then you act on it and take corrective actions for the future. Because when we are accountable to ourselves, it helps us to move forward when we take wrong steps. And if you have a trusting partner, you can also have what they call an accountability partner. So the person can check up on you. It doesn't have to be your finances, it could be anything in life. So that you can, when you are open to the person can guide you and say, what if you have done it differently that way? Because that's how you avoid missteps for the future. And we should avoid too many missteps. So let's go forward. No, go back, please. You can play the video but pause it. So I want us to pay attention. There's a video that's going to play. I'm very. No. Go out of this mode and double click on it. I'm hoping that we can play the video. The video, I call it How Badly Do You Want to Succeed? It's a very short video. It's like a minute. Or in fact, it's less than a minute. It just shows how some animals fell into an uncomfortable place and how they were trying to escape from that place. And again, I'm asking the audience here, you should look at that situation and say, and it's that video we're going to watch now, and ask ourselves, how badly do we want to succeed in this financial journey? Honestly, I don't come from a rich home, but at times I wish my father were alive today, but to see how we have all become. And it's a big part of it is doing the right thing, discipline, investing, consistency, accountability, and then seeking information. Remember the story I told you, my mates were flying to. I had a friend that she left Lagos, went to Dubai, from Dubai went to America, to London. Like, what are you looking for? On your own money. Money that you could have used to do something great. So she had all the pictures to show. And they will tell you all the story. But where's the substance? There's nothing. So, or the one that instead of going to buy a reasonable car that's at their level, they will go and buy the biggest thing. Like, a car is not an asset, it's a necessity. It's like your clothes. So, we have to be reasonable. I'm hoping they can play this video because it just rounds up and captures everything I'm saying. Sorry, let me just run there and see them. For the way to financial growth, he's doing everything possible, but doesn't know the way. Someone has got to talk about it like I'm talking about it today. That's the white cat. But you see, he's going to try to help. But he can't. He's going to show the way how to do it. So now, I hope you will try yourself. And gradually, you see, he went a different way, not exactly. We say, not, the part is not what I'm telling you exactly. You can find your way to success. It might not be easy. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Celebrate Jesus. That was wonderful. Please, you have questions? Any question? This will give room for just 3 questions because of our time. Any question? Any question? Okay, I guess it was well understood. I guess it was well understood. So before the guest minister goes, we'll pray for him. So I want to say this. I will stay disciplined. I will stay disciplined.